Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Here we have our next episode where we're going to talk tonight about the mastering of streaming and mastering streaming in a multicam setup. And the two devices that we're going to be talking about today, or highlighting about today, is the OBSBOT Talent Tail Air and the OBSBOT Talent. Here we're going to have a little representation of how one would be able to stream beautifully out in the wilderness or wherever you might be streaming with 3 cameras, all wirelessly connected to the exceptional OBSBOT Talent. Let's get into it. Alright ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So we have 3 OBSBOT Talent Airs. So if you were to max out the capabilities of the wireless NDI scenario with this OBSBOT Talent, you would have 3 of these cameras. Now you are able to connect wired more cameras. You've got an HDMI 1, HDMI 2, this is on the OBSBOT Talent. You've also got 2 USB-A connections. Now with this as well, you're also able to connect webcams, perhaps like a tiny 2, which unfortunately don't have batteries, so you would need to use the power that's on the Talent to power that. But if you needed something that's really wireless, that you could place these 3 cameras, a professional looking stream, and master the art of streaming, you would have these 3 cameras placed wherever you need them, wherever the subject is, whether it be a sport or an interview or even a vlog. You could have these cameras placed anywhere. And with that, as long as this Talent and these cameras are connected onto the same wireless network, you could be anywhere in that point. And you could control those cameras either directly on the Talent. You have the option on here to control the positioning of your cameras. So there you can see, there I am, blue, and you're able to control these cameras. You're able to store 3 presets. This has obviously been discussed in other videos by other reviewers as well. This is not new news. You're able to control all of this on here. But a feature that I find that's really special is the AI human tracking. Now they call this AI human tracking, but I call this the AI cameraman. This is basically if you're the lone streamer and you've got 3 cameras and you don't have the capability, or not the capability, but the ability to control all of these cameras whilst in amongst the stream, activate this. Let it select who the subject is, and these cameras will move precisely to whomever you are going to follow. So on here, like I said, you're able to have 3 cameras, and you're able to go between the cameras, and you're able to stream. This is how wonderful it is. You're able to go between your scenes over here, and you're able to have images as well. I have this image for when I am starting a stream or ending a stream. Nice little welcomer so that people know what they are watching. You're able to also have graphics in here. Now this is a great thing. You want to look professional. Perhaps you are working for a brand and you want that brand on there. Now you're able to do that as a logo, as a picture. You're able to add a lower third. Let's go into all the options that you're able to have here. So here you are. You're able to have a logo, you're able to put in your social media, comments on there as well. Scoreboard, which I found recently really helpful. With the scoreboard itself, especially with sports, you're able to show the scores at the top. The nice thing about that as well is you're able to customize it. Now you can go through a plethora of different looks. You're able to change the colors, you're able to change the size, you're able to change the position. Really great. I had to play around with this quite a few times, and it's surprised me how great it looks on the screen. So moving along from there. Now, as I've said, you're able to go between the different scenes. Now what OBSBOT sells as well. Now it does come, if I add this as just a side note, if you buy all 3 of these cameras as the combo, it does come with the remote. And incoming with the remote as well, in that combo pack, you also get the Ethernet adapter or dongle. It goes from USB-C, as you can see it there, get it out, there's the USB-C, and it goes out to this dongle where you would have your Ethernet connector and your power USB-C. That's only for power, no data gets transferred there. So that would come in the pack, little side note. Right, in that pack here we go, we have the remote. So with the remote itself, you are able to control not only the position of how the cameras are. So let's go and take a look here. Let's say I were to go to camera 2, there we have scene 2, let's not call that camera 2, scene 2. You're able to control the cameras themselves. So there you can see cameras moving about, perhaps it's not in the correct position. You're able to do that on the fly. Move the cameras around, really great to just get that perfect image. With this as well, once you have this remote connected to Talent, what you can also do is you can change scenes. So as you saw, I clicked once and that allowed me to change positions of a certain camera. You are also able to change the scene on there as well. So let's just go to another camera. Here you are. So even though you've got only 3 scenes on the remote, that button on the top allows you to go between the scenes as well. So that would be now scene 4, but 1 being the first after the first set of 3. Then we go back to the set of 3, then we can go back to the splash page, back to me, next camera, and the next camera again. So tactile, helpful, little remote control, everything you would need in the palm of your hand. Your zoom, so you'll be able to zoom into everything that you would need to do over there. Oops, I'll just press the right button, there you go. As soon as it goes green, it means you're controlling the camera, not the scene. So there we go, now we're zooming in. We can go and zoom in or zoom out. So everything you need that's on here. Now if you didn't have the remote, and let's say we only had 2 cameras, so we take that camera out of the equation, you can also use the app. Now the app itself allows you to do everything that you would see that's over here. You'll be able to control it, you'll be able to fine tune the look of your camera. But if you didn't want all the complication, everything you need to do is on the Talent. Controlling your Talent is changing the scenes, adding graphics, adding music. As I alluded to, you can see via the equalizer what's going on with your sound. There's the one camera that we're on. Is the final program sound. So if I were to go, I have got music that's on that first slide, go back to the equalizer, we would see now that my music is now what we're seeing on the final program. We're able to adjust how loud or how soft, giving us the perfect volumes. And at the side we have 2 ports, 2 mini jack ports. So we've got an earphone or a monitor jack, and we've got a line in microphone jack. So you can add an external microphone, or if you have a mixing board like I do, you can just connect that in there. Then the Talent will ask you what do you connect to. You connect the microphone or a line in, and you select it for the scenario that you want. So really great. Moving on to a couple of other ports at the bottom, we have your fixed Ethernet port at the bottom. If you are in a studio, you've got all of your connections available to you and you want the best connection possible. There you have your fixed line Ethernet port. Then we also have a SD card reader which you're able to record on as well, or you can put media that you want to play from that onto here. It would load it onto here. You'll be able to transfer it from the SD card onto the Talent. We have a USB-C out. This is for a display. So if you wanted to connect a display, you can connect one of these little dongles over here. Here it is USB-C to HDMI dongle, and that will give you a multi-view, a bit bigger than what we're seeing over here. And the nice thing about it as well, we're able to get a touch screen. And you can use the touch screen to control the Talent. So moving on over here, we've got a barrel jack that's to power up. So if you didn't have these batteries, you can connect the power adapter into that and run the Talent off that. note that that does not charge the batteries. So if you have batteries connected to the talent and you connect the external power, it will not charge the batteries. It will power up the talent and not use the batteries if you have the batteries connected. That becomes auxiliary power. Moving on to the side, there's the mini jack ports, which I just said earlier. Another USB-C-A, great if you wanted to add perhaps a webcam, or you can also, which is nice, add a little 4G dongle onto that and get your data directly onto this without having a mobile router separately. And there's your power button. Well, that's just a little review on that. But as I said, mastering the art of multicam streaming wirelessly. You have your tail airs, you have NDI, you have the OBSBOT Talent. All of this happens right in front of your eyes. If you want to add more, like I said, you can only add 3 NDIs, but you can add 2 HDMI inputs, full HDMI inputs, webcam over there. If you wanted it simple, wireless, what more would you need? OBSBOT Tail Air, OBSBOT Talent. This is the episode of Mastering the Art of Multicam Streaming. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you want me to talk about. I'll do so with pleasure. Until we see you next time, have a good one.